Welcome back, Benchwarmers. Football is around the corner, and I'm so dang excited.
Preseason is underway, and while the first real game isn't until September 4th, we thought we'd start talking about it.
Yeah, I literally couldn't wait any longer to get back into the pigskin. So we're going to have like a little mini-series here where we predict how each division will unfold.
Let's get to it. I'm Corey, Joe Burr fan.
I'm Brendan, play like a Raven, and this is RV from the Bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see or hear, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us, come on, it's free. It's free for you, it's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
All right, Corey, well, we're rolling along. We're halfway through. We have moved from the east to the south. And before we hit the best coast, which is the west coast, we're going to hit up the north, starting, of course, like we normally do, in the AFC. If you haven't checked out the other ones, we already predicted the east and the south. We got the west coming, and right now you're watching the north. So we're going to jump into the AFC North first. You can kind of tell a little bit of not where we're going completely, but where some of the fanhood lies. Not that I don't like the Bengals, you know what I mean? But I like purple. Go Lakers.
It's true. It's a good point. Always purple, except for when it comes to Sacramento Kings, and we don't like purple.
Yeah, no. There's only one purple team in the NBA. That's the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's fine. So like if you haven't catched any of the ones, go make sure you catch up. But what we're gonna do is basically run through each division, and kind of predict the order of them. And we're gonna go in reverse order. So 4-4, 3-3, 2-2. We'll kind of work our way up. Obviously, if you know football, you'll know where we're kind of standing once we get to 2 and who's left. But if not, make sure you keep watching. So I think you start AFC, so let's keep going with that as the AFC fan in the Titans. Who do you have? I know this was pretty hard for the AFC North, but who do you have coming in fourth?
It's funny, for at least sidetrack for me, the AFC North, I always kind of have a weird soft spot for them because before the Titans and we got realigned into the South, we used to be in the AFC Central, I think, and we used to be a part of the Steelers and Bengals and Browns. So I don't miss those days anymore, but I'm happy to be out of it. But when it comes to this year in the AFC North, last place is the Browns, right? Like, I don't know what's going on. Who's going to be? I know it's going to be Flacco, right? Because why would you start Shedeur or Gabriel?
Not yet, maybe.
Yeah, not yet. Let Flacco have 5 or 6 games, see where they're at. If they're terrible, then throw the rookie quarterbacks in there and see who's the future. But right now, it's Flacco, and Myles Garrett and the defense is pretty good. They have been the last few years, but the offense is, I don't know. I don't think Flacco's going to have that spark that he had with them a couple years ago. I think that's kind of come and gone. And Cleveland's in this weird boat again. They got like 8 quarterbacks. You still are paying Deshaun Watson, and he's not going to play all year. It's just a mess in Cleveland, as it always has been. I would love to see the jersey with the names that one guy has, where he just adds the tape of the next quarterback. I don't even know how many at this point. So, but I
too many.
I don't know how you could argue any other spot.
Well, I'm going to argue with you because I'm just kidding. I completely have them in fourth place as well. I do think this is actually one of the better divisions in football in general. Yeah. It's unfortunate that there's a kind of a gap between 1 through 3 and then 4, but it's just kind of how the Browns are. I mean, it's not really too much to say to it. I kind of started with, the Browns. You know what I mean? It is. It's kind of one of those things. So I like Shedeur Sanders. I like what he was able to do in the preseason game. I understand it's preseason, but technically he was playing with a second team on offense, playing against the Carolina Panthers starters. I get it. Panthers aren't, killers on defense, but they're still professional football players, and that's the first team. That's who they're throwing out there on Sundays. You know what I mean? So the fact that he was able to kind of tear them up 2 touchdowns, I think it was like 13-24 or something like that for almost 200 yards. Yeah, well, that's not that bad. So I do like Shedeur. I hope he does well. Kind of prove everybody wrong for that 5th round. Again, he wasn't a first round quarterback to me, but any lower than 3, and it was a little bit of a stretch. So I do hope that he kind of proves some people wrong. Not a very strong receiving core. And while he is oft injured, Nick Chubb is no longer with the team as well. So it's just not going to be their year this year. But perhaps Shedeur can turn them around kind of going forward. Maybe they can start like a little precedent and maybe turn the tides a tad to try to get on the right track, because this is a tough division to compete in general. Oh, yeah. So it's and they obviously the division schedule, you play the harder teams 6 times each.
Yeah.
They're bound to upset somebody. Everybody plays division tough, but it's just I don't think it's going to be enough to do much. So fourth place.
The other thing with Shedeur, I want him to succeed as well, but also I think everyone needs to just relax a little bit. It's preseason, and like you said, it was the starters, but it's also like, their basic defense packages. We're not doing anything crazy or showing a lot, but
Of course, yeah.
it's a good confidence builder for Shedeur himself to continue to go from there. But also, like, let's not anticipate him to come out and throw 5 touchdowns a game. Let's just lower the
No.
expectations. Cleveland, just be happy if he is playing and showing signs of improvement as the season goes on. Again, as you said, to build onto something for the future. So I think long term, the Browns could be in a good spot, but right now I don't see them in that space.
And Kevin Stefanski is still a good coach, and I think
Yeah.
if Shedeur can do somewhat like what Baker Mayfield tried to do in Cleveland, which he was
Really
the first
good.
overall pick, let alone a 5th overall or a 5th round pick. I'm sorry, that could be decent. Now, will that be enough for Browns fans and Browns brass? Probably not, because nothing really seems to be. Even, I mean, look at Baker now, dude. He's freaking shining down in Tampa, as we talked about. But yeah, 4th place it is. That's where I got him.
Yeah, it is what it is. The Browns, like you said, oh, Browns. I said it's the Browns. Like this is what it is.
kind of where we're at. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's move on up to 3rd place then. I think this is kind of where we start to split a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So for 3rd, I went back and forth between Bengals and Steelers. I just kept debating, like, I don't know. But then, the Steelers, they're going to win 9 games because Mike Tomlin doesn't go over 500.
At least 9 games.
Yeah, at least. So I have them winning 9.
I just want to make sure you don't have them stuck at 9.
No, I have them winning at least 9. But after that, I don't know. I just, with Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what to expect. I know they brought in who's a wider Metcalf is there, so they have some weapons for him. I don't know what to expect out of Rodgers because he's just kind of been in the abyss last year in New York. And I know you look at his numbers overall for the season, and they weren't terrible, but also they weren't playing for anything. I feel like since they're going to be playing for something here in Pittsburgh and the way Tomlin runs things, that Aaron should have a decent year, if not a better year than last year. But for some reason, the Steelers team under Tom in the last 10 years is we make the playoffs, we lose a playoff game. We make the playoffs, we lose a play. So I just don't know. I don't anticipate them to do much once they get there, which is why I kind of have them teetering off.
What we're picking.
No, I know, but I have them kind of teetering off in the back half of the season and ultimately falling down to 9-8 and in 3rd place behind the Bengals and Ravens. I don't know. I don't feel good about the Steelers situation, and I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to make it healthy through a season at this point.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll touch on the Steelers a little bit, but not right now because I have the Bengals coming in 3rd place. I hear what you're saying on a little bit of it, but this is where I'm kind of confused. I love Joe Burrow. I think he's a fun quarterback. I'm watching the show Quarterback on Netflix, who and he's in it this newest season at least, and he seems like a really great guy, right? But I just don't see how this team got any better in the offseason.
I can see that.
They didn't really improve much. They lost their really long-time captain, Sam Hubbard, to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Their other best defensive player who led the league in sacks last year is mad, Trey Hendrickson. He's sitting out and he's irritated with the team over, contract disagreements. So, but that's the bad side of the ball. Last year, they ranked 25th in points allowed and had 6 games where they gave up 30 or more points. So that's not great. Now, you might say, yeah, but the offense, man, the offense is so good. Okay, I agree with you. 100%. The offense was humming, and they paid everybody as they should. They paid T. Higgins. They made sure that everybody was taken care of. But Joe Burrow through last year for a career-high 4,900 yards and a career-high 43 touchdowns. Jamar Chase earned the triple crown. He had the most receptions, most yards, and most touchdowns for any receiver in the entire league. And they missed the playoffs at a 9-8 record. So, granted, yeah, great. Hey, that offense is going to be good. Are they going to have another triple crown year, 5,000 yards and over 40 touchdowns?
Yeah, probably.
If so, okay, that's my point, right? And the defense didn't get any better. Oh, wait, they hired a college defensive guy. Maybe that's the improvement. Again, I'm not even knocking the guy. I don't even know the guy, right? But I'm just saying he did it at Notre Dame. It's just a completely different level. So it's not that I don't believe in the Bengals offense. I don't believe in the Bengals as a team. And they are notorious. Now, they're trying to curb it a little bit this year by playing Joe Burrow in the preseason, actually the whole offense in the preseason. And I get it. A lot of what Joe Burrow's beginning of the seasons have been are dealing with a little bit of nagging injuries from either the previous season or the offseason, so they haven't played him, which gets them off to a slow start. I think they're 1-11 under Zach Taylor in weeks 1 and 2. 1-11? You can't win in the AFC North starting 0-2, even 1-1, especially if they're layup games like they were last year when you played the Patriots, who I think finished with 4 wins or something like that. So I just don't see how they improved. It's not that I don't think they're good, or especially their offense, but I don't see where they got better. And so I unfortunately have them kind of at where you have the Steelers at 9-8, but in third place in this division.
Yeah, it's funny as you're explaining why you pick the Steelers. Like, I don't know, they're just the same team. I don't know if they improved that much, but I'm seriously thinking, yeah, that's exactly what I feel about the Steelers. Like, it's the same thing. Like, they changed Rodgers and for Russell Wilson. Is that really that much of a difference? I don't know. And the defense is good, but is TJ Watt healthy? That's always a question mark too. And they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they got older and Jalen Ramsey. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. So I'm in the same boat as you are with you are the Bengals as I am the Steelers. Like, they're kind of the same as last year, so I kind of expect the same. So 9 wins, make the playoffs, kind of the similar thing. So, and maybe their defense is better than the Bengal defense, but I feel like the Bengals offense is better than the Steeler defense. So it's kind of a toss-up between the two, which is why I debated them back and forth between third and second in the first place.
We'll see who's right. We'll settle it on the field. No, I'm just kidding.
For two teams that we don't even root for.
Exactly, right? Okay, so then tell me why you have the Bengals coming in second, or do you have them winning this division?
No, I have the Bengals ultimately ending up in second. I just think that Joe Burrow is the man. I think he's one of those guys where, yeah, he has Chase and Higgins, and that's great, and they're awesome, but I still think he can kind of win with whatever's out there, like whatever weapons he has available to him. And you mentioned last year, 40 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards. Yeah, he's probably not going to repeat those things, but I also think maybe the defense slightly improves with Burrow slightly dropping, so it kind of evens itself out, and they're kind of the same team they were last year. So, again, it's the Steelers and the Bengals for me both. What improvements did you really make, or did you just do a lateral move replacing a guy with another guy that's kind of similar in ability or capability? So I just don't think there's a whole lot of extra there with either of these teams, but somebody's got to finish in second and third, so I'm going Bengals in second.
Okay. All right. So let's touch on the Steelers then, because I have them coming in second. I don't have necessarily the record, but I'm thinking like 10-7 is kind of where I'm going for the team. I think this team is a little bit underrated. I think you're underrating them a tad. The defense is always really good. And it's really the only thing that kind of keeps them in games. However, in my opinion, again, well, it could be proven wrong as the season progresses. A diminished Aaron Rodgers, maybe not infinitely, but is way better than a diminished Russell Wilson and an unpolished Justin Fields. What they were able to do with Justin Fields at the beginning of the season, waiting for Russell Wilson to get healthy, was pretty impressive, to be honest with you. But it's mostly because they allowed 10 points, 6 points, 8 points, and 13 points in some of those games.
And they scored 17 maybe a game.
Exactly, right? So I think as long as Aaron looks like he did in the second half of last season, to your point, they got better. Granted, it was when they weren't playing for anything. So, you're not wrong there.
But also, Rodgers was getting healthier as the year went on, coming off.
That's what I'm saying. Coming off an
old, so yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth. So dealing with an Achilles injury from the previous year, granted, it was an entire season because he played 4 snaps, but still, it's kind of maybe in your head a little bit. I think he went and had dark time this off season, so maybe he took some mushrooms or something, and he's back to who knows what.
Ayahuasca.
Okay, that too. Sure, hey, it could be all of it.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think the offense is a little bit better than they are last year and can kind of help the defense out. Random stats for the Steelers here. This is a little bit dated, but I just thought the number was kind of crazy. 160. 30 and 1 since 2005. So in the past 20 years, I get that's more with my time. The team's completely different, but it's the mentality of the Steelers when they hold opponents to under 21 points. That's just 3 touchdowns. I think Aaron Rodgers could drive down for 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals, or 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and since 2020, they're 50, 33 and 1, and they've averaged an allowed 20.6 points per game, which is under the 21 points. So they're allowing less than 3 touchdowns a game on average. And if you think about it, with a terrible offense, that means the defense is constantly on the field. If you can have a slightly improved offense, granted, maybe your point is valid with a possibly slightly improved defense for the Bengals. If you could have a slightly improved offense, I think that you have the option to kind of get better with a defense that good. That's all I'm saying. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and again,
real quick, last point.
No, go for it.
The DK Metcalf, I agree with you, is a big, but the hidden thing out of the Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey thing is the acquisition of Jonnu Smith.
Yep, I knew you were going.
Aaron Rodgers, if he is going to be running for not running because he don't run, but in trouble or something, huge target, just as Tua, because now he's probably like, damn it, bro, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Huge target for those emergency bailouts, great hands, big guy, touchdown magnet. I just think Jonnu Smith is a sneaky addition in addition to the DK Metcalf point. So that was
the Steelers have, is it Freiermuth, right? The other tight end that they have?
Pat Freiermuth. Yep. Also a beast. Yeah.
Freiermuth, yeah.
So 2 tight end sets
so
for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So okay, maybe I will change. No, I'm just kidding. Something to but you do make some really good points as far as like maybe why they could get to 10. And I'm the same thing. Bengals and Steelers could be one with 9 wins, one with 10, both with 10 tiebreaker. Like it's not going to be a big separation between the two.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Yep. So, but that kind of basically leaves us both with the number one team that has been the number one team with the Ravens. I'll let you begin.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Ravens division the last couple of years. They've been the most complete team. Obviously, not discussing postseason because that's a different category for Lamar Jackson. But I mean, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, right? I picked Lamar to win the MVP, and he was able to do so. I picked the Ravens to do the whole thing. They didn't do that part of it, but
they got close.
Yeah, they did get close, but I just think again they're building something. Harbaugh is always going. Harbaugh is kind of Tomlin-ish. Like he's always going to have his team ready. They're always going to be around 500. I think Harbaugh might have 1 or 2 years under 500 in his tenure there, but regardless,
he has higher peaks.
Yeah, but his under 500 is probably 7 and 9. It's not like he was 4 and 12 or some crazy shit like that. So Harbaugh's going to have them ready. I think the Ravens, I don't know. It's just them and the Bills. It always feels like, okay, this is the year they're going to take. Okay, maybe not. Kansas City did again, or whoever. Cincinnati comes in randomly and takes Kansas City. Just like, can they finally get over the hump? Can Lamar finally push himself in? We talk about top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and it's always, Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar comes up in conversation, but then it's like once we get to playoffs, he's in the bottom half of the league.
But that's not what we're picking today.
I know. There's a lot of things going on in Baltimore. There's a lot of positives. I think Lamar just continues to get better. There's no contract situations. There's no holdouts of any kind in that organization, so everything should be smooth sailing to start. It's just a matter of like every other team, health and luck along the way. But I think ultimately Harbaugh has them ready, and Ravens probably get 12 wins and win the division.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think the Ravens are the cream of the crop of the AFC North. They've won back-to-back division titles, obviously now going for their third. And I don't see really much slowing I don't see anything slowing this team down. Jeez, let me be able to talk here.
You couldn't get it out. It was so fast.
I was so excited. No, honestly, it was a long day, bro. My brain is off. But Lamar Jackson is the third best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's got a couple MVPs, obviously, to show of it. One of them that you called way early. So, man, we should put money on that, dude. I'm telling you.
I know we should have. I really screwed
that up. Right? But the defense is good. The offense is obviously good. Lamar can move the ball, even with receivers that we don't even know. Their best receiver is Zay Flowers. And I mean, they got DeAndre Hopkins, a little bit older, but he's still DeAndre Hopkins. So if Zay Flowers is your best receiver, I think Isaiah Likely, great tight end. And I think that after that drop ball against Buffalo, I think Mark Andrews is going to have like not a revenge year, but like kind of he's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder to kind of come back and prove that he is the main tight end, Lamar Jackson's main target, even though I think Isaiah Likely is really great.
Well,
the only question that I have, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, your question, go for it.
The only question that I really have is, and I'm not doubting it, it's just a question, is King Henry still the guy that he was last year? Because if he takes if he takes this small of a step back, they're going to be fine, right? I mean, he had almost 2,000 yards last year, and I think they'll be fine. If he takes a big step back and the running game really comes down to the backup and or Lamar Jackson, that's the only way I don't think they'll be as dominant. But I don't see that happening because everybody thought that was going to happen. That's why Tennessee got rid of him, and he completely proved them wrong last year. This is a run-first team. They know how to run block. And I just don't see them at least losing the division. Now, come playoffs, hey, anything can happen. But I have them taking one.
I'm with you on the Derrick Henry thing. Obviously, as a Titans fan, I'm always rooting for King Henry. I just want him to win a Super Bowl at some point and do whatever he can. But yeah, I think Henry's kind of one of those random, like he's over 30. Everyone thought he was done. So like you mentioned, Tennessee was like, okay, we'll let you go because we're not winning now anyway. So there's no reason for you to be here. But they let him go. I think they should have traded him to Baltimore at the deadline the season before and got something. Anything for him would have been nice. 5th round, something, just whatever.
Something, yeah.
I'm always rooting for him. And, last year with the beginning, remember we had this whole talk at like 5-6 weeks in. It was like, does Mark Andrews even know the Ravens offense anymore? It was like he disappeared.
Yeah, that was rough, dude.
They weren't using him. And then that last half of the season, it's like he reconfigured and got shit figured out with Lamar Jackson, was able to go from there. But I'm with you. I think that drop last year is a fuel for him this year. And he's also, I would not be shocked at the end of the year we look and he has like very few, if any, drops. Like he's going to be wanting everything to stick to his gloves this year.
He's getting that stick 'em ready.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like what's the replacements when Orlando Jones has that shit all over his hands and it's like that. Like, if I'm Mark Andrews, I'm trying everything I can to make sure I don't drop a ball this season. But
he's so good. It was literally just one of those things. I bet you he feels
you're in
terrible
the snow,
for it.
it's slippery. It's not like it was great conditions. So there's a lot of
It's true.
factors that go in, but it did suck that ultimately that's why they lost that game.
Because I think they could have won that. If he catches that, they win the game, dude. That's pretty crazy.
And then who knows who gets into the Super Bowl if it's Baltimore or Kansas City at that point.
Mhm.
But,
Exactly, because they played them week 1 to a T. It was literally a toenail that basically had them lose the game because Isaiah Likely didn't get both feet in at the end. It was his little toe was out. So
I'm expecting Ravens to clinch the division and probably get, like I said, 12 wins, maybe 13. Just kind of depends on how, as you mentioned, Derrick Henry's health is, because that's a big concern as far as the offense.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. So, but that's pretty much wraps up the AFC North. Let us know down in the comments who you've got winning the AFC North.
Or hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at RVUFTB and tell me why Joey B is the best quarterback in the AFC
Hey,
North.
well, it's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson, baby. Come
One's been to a Super Bowl and the other hasn't. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, one's won a couple MVPs, the other hasn't.
I don't know which is better. I'd rather
Super Bowl's a team sport. Super Bowl's a team award.
Yeah, true. Okay, good point.
I'm the
one to pick Lamar Jackson. Point. What am I talking about? I told you.
I know, right? Come on.
And I'm over here bagging on him.
Anyways, appreciate everybody for stopping by. Thank you as always for thinking these from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.